What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of 2BD Kid playing KSP and uploading the footage to the internet. You're probably wondering what we're doing today. Actually, you're not, because you've already seen the title. We're launching our second Duna rocket, and this is a rocket. And apparently due to the massive exterior and interior of the whole rocket, it was very slow launching it, but as you can see, we got those two giant boosters right there. I went with the effector engines for the main stage, and it's just because it has a really nice gimbal to it, and it would probably prevent the thing from tipping over on itself. But yeah, so I had to fast forward this again, like quite a bit, because and I kind of thought like it would be a lot slower, and it just like sounds a lot worse. But yeah, you probably won't be hearing that, so hopefully my amazing commentary skills will make up for that. So yeah, as we push up through the atmosphere, we can already deploy those boosters. I'm very late on saying that, but we're bringing Jeb, Bill, and Bob with us, and nothing will ever go wrong, and we can begin tipping our rocket more as we push through the atmosphere and into space. You're probably wondering, if I'm doing this again, why would I, well, do it again? Because last time, I stranded the Kerbals onto the planet with no rescue attempt, because I just had to revert the whole flight. But, I changed the design of the rocket, so basically we're kind of going for like an Apollo style thing. Well, actually not, because I've already done the Apollo thing in the, vehicle assembly building, but, I don't know. So we can, burn the rest of the rocket fuel while we get into orbit, and we can warp time just so we can do that. And the whole rocket was like very heavy. Like I clearly overbuilt the rocket, because I mean we should have separated ages ago by now, but I don't know. I mean I kind of like to overbuild my rockets and stuff, but yeah, we can get to that maneuver node and roughly getting into a stable orbit. But yeah, we can get ready to deploy those fairings, and there we go. And here's the whole rocket module thing. Yeah, this is going to be taking us to Duna. So yeah, so we can get ready to plot our maneuver, and we can just roughly get a good encounter. I didn't get a very good Duna encounter, but so it did cost us a bit of extra Delta V, so yeah. We'll do one burn that'll get us into the Sphere of Influence, and then we'll do a second burn to correct our orbit so we can get into an equatorial orbit. So we can enable RCS on this thing, because this is one big rocket. And you can see me being very liberal with the quick save function. I mean, yeah, I genuinely refuse to play this game without the ability to quick save, because it just wouldn't be worth it. Because I mean, even though if you're like very good at the game, you don't really know when anything can go wrong, because there's like a ton of things that just you know, like glitches and stuff. But yeah, we can start burning prograde. We can get our apoapsis raised so we can meet Duna's Sphere of Influence. And I overshot it like I always do, so I had to quickly turn around. But it wasn't a big problem. We were able to fix it. So yep, right, just like that. I actually kind of messed it up a bit with the RCS, because it's kind of annoying, but oh well. We can say goodbye to Kerbin as we go through our solar orbit around the sun, which will take us. And as you can see, I actually didn't plan a maneuver node for this, because I just didn't think it would be really necessary. So I just burned like radial in, radial out, or no, anti-normal and prograde. And then I planned our maneuver to get us into orbit. So yeah, we can warp time, and we can show you our journey through deep space. And here we are. So here we are at Duna. We can look closely at the planet's surface, and we can begin to burn retrograde to get us into orbit. Now, I wanted to go for a craft this size because you can see on the lander I have a convertotron into it, and I'm going to use it to drill into the surface just so I can get some ore and transfer that and turn it into some liquid fuel so we can begin to get our lander ready, and we can transfer Bill and Bob. Or no, we actually left Bill on the mothership just so we can just so we can keep the whole ship running. So yeah, because I left him there because I didn't think we really need him for this mission, because I mean the only purpose he would serve is like repacking the parachutes, but it's not really what we were kind of shooting for. But I don't know, we can begin burning prograde or retrograde, and we can just start descending down. Now, it would have been a good idea to aerobrake, but one, I didn't have any heat shields, and two, Duna's atmosphere is very thin, so it wouldn't have been like the best one. And oh, there's the sound being put back on. Yeah, we are descending down. We can continue the burn as we enter the atmosphere, and then we can start to deploy those parachutes. And we'll just let the air do its thing. Now, Duna's atmosphere is so thin that, like, the parachutes I have equipped on this aren't just going to stop me completely, so we will have to do a slight burn just to slow us down a bit. In fact, I was actually going too fast that for some reason the parachutes didn't even fully deploy, but they did, so we can... Yep, and they're fully deployed, so we can just let it do its thing and just take us down to the surface. And then you can see we're probably going somewhere around 12 meters per second, which is too much because we'll just crash down too hard. So I usually like to slow my speed to like no more than 1 meter per second, because yeah, I just want like a good, yeah, but textbook touchdown, and we have landed. So we can deploy our ladders and our satcoms, and we can deploy those solar panels. I did a horrible job of saying that. But yeah, we can have Jeb walk on the surface, and we can bring Bob with us as well, because I know he's very excited because there's lots of science to do. But yeah, we can have Jeb plant the flag, and we can just have him try multiple times to get back on the ship. So, now what I wanted to try to do was, this is actually my first time using those drills for the first time. And the way it basically works is you have the drills get ore, and the ore is then transferred through the convertotron, then it's turned into liquid fuel. Now here's the thing, I picked a horrible spot to land, so it pretty much took like 15 years. Well, actually it took 13 to drill, but yeah, so I had to, it was a pretty horrible trip, but you know, they're Kerbals, they don't care how long each mission takes, so we can just, we've already taken off clearly, but yeah, we can just get into a stable Duna orbit. Then we can begin to get our encounter with the mothership, which transition, we can head over there. And we can just kill off all of our speed. And then we'll just do Matt Lowndes' certified lazy method of docking, which I'm terrible at for some reason, but I don't know. And then I realized we were way too close, so I kind of freaked out for 1 second. But yeah, so basically the whole method is you have the two docking ports line up with each other, and then you just do a slight burn, and then just very slowly touch down on them. And you can see I did not get it right the first time, so we'll have to try that again. And you can see Bill is controlling the ship. She's doing a pretty good job, and we're docked. Okay, so now that was pretty much all of the hard parts of the whole mission done. So what I tried to do was doing quick save again. We can begin the convertotron to transfer all of the ore and turn it into liquid fuel, which then we're going to transfer to the mothership because that's what's going to be taking us home. And we're just going to leave the lander in Duna orbit while we take our science experiments, of course. So, once we have that, we can then transfer all of our fuel because we just barely have enough Delta V to get back to Kerbin. So we can... I was really trying to be careful not to like leave any drop of fuel behind. And then, yep, so you can see we have 1200 meters per second of Delta V. And then I totally forgot to transfer Jeb and Bob back, so we had to do a quick EVA, but not a big deal. So we can, this wasn't really, I don't think this was necessary, but I just warped time just to get a good Kerbin encounter. But yeah, I usually use this like transfer calculator thing. It's pretty helpful, so I recommend you guys using it. But yeah, so we can just point to our maneuver stage. Then we can begin to burn, which I can't really read it from here because I'm in editing right now. But yeah, we just pretty much burned prograde, and I nearly overshot it, but we were fine. So we can warp time and say goodbye to Duna while we are heading to Kerbin. And you can clearly see that I did not plan that Ike encounter, so it did mess up our orbit around a bit, so we'll have to make a quick maneuver burn just to fix it, which wasn't a big deal. It just cost like another 100 meters or 50 meters per second of Delta V, but it actually kind of did help us a bit better because we did kind of get an equatorial orbit, so if anything, it actually helped us. So thank you, Ike. And we can time warp, and we can head back to Kerbin, and then we can fix our staging, which I should have done at the beginning, and then we can detach and point retrograde while we come close to entering the atmosphere. And you're about to see the fireworks show. I always love to see a good fireworks show. Just pretty much the useless staging. Well, not useless. The mothership has already served its purpose. But yeah, so we have that heat shield with us. And heat shields are very strong in this game. In fact, I'd say they're overpowered, but I'm not complaining. So we can just descend down in the atmosphere and we'll deploy those parachutes so we can bring our brave Kerbals back home. And that pretty much wraps up this mission. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. If you watched my stream yesterday, you would have noticed that I launched a satellite to the Joule system, and it was pretty much a painful process, but I don't know, we managed to do it. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you're receiving a notification. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. You can see we're ascending, we can splash down, and boom. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.